This tutorial is about the filtering feature in Causality, and filtering is that you filter the script based on elements like lanes or characters or tags. Actually, let's do a quick demo. I have a tag here that's called Old Lady, which is for a subplot with an old lady that keeps coming back into the story. So if I select that and click OK, you'll see that now we only see the snippets that are part of this subplot, and then we see these gaps like 1/8 page later and 3 5/8 pages later. And actually, if we select Display and Final Script, it's a little clearer how this works. So you can see these are the gaps 3 5/8 pages later. And now I can just read this subplot like it's the only script. And the same in the timeline. You can see that these are the places where this subplot comes back into the story, and I can actually just scrub right here. There are 3 ways to get into filtering, and the first one, of course, is to just use the menu. So let's first reset the filter, and let's try another one. Here I want to see all my night scenes, so I'm going to select Locations and Night, and then I press OK. And now we can see there's this hospital sequence, and then there's something in their apartment later. These are the only things that happen at night. The second way to filter is this feature called Filter on Selection, which also sits on Command or Control L. So I can just select anything like, for example, the nurse's journey, and then Command or Control L. And now I can only see this journey in the script. And let's try something else. Let's select a lane. Now this lane has events in the whole story. So let's try to select all our subtext. Or let's select this one here. And then finally, you can select nothing and then Command L, and this resets the filter. And the last way to get into filtering is to use the new right-click menu here, where you can either show only this or hide only this, which creates a new filter and shows or hides only that. Or you can use show and hide to add and remove little things from the current filter. So for example, if I select the lane and then I say show only, then I can go in on this one here and then I can say hide. And now these things get ghosted out. So now I'm effectively seeing this entire lane except the nurse's journey. So for example, you would use this to try to simulate what it would be like if you removed a certain plot line from the story. You can preview how the story reads without that plot line. Next, you can save your favorite filters. So let's set up a new filter. I'll first reset again, and then I want to make a filter that only shows my subtext. And now I want to save that. So I simply create a filter here, a filter preset, and then I just call that subtext. And let's reset the filter again. And let's make a new filter where I just want to get my minor characters. So I want to get the cousin and I want to get the nurse. And so now I'm only seeing the snippets where these characters have activity. And let's save another preset here that's called minor characters. And now I can just switch back and forth between them. Now I'm seeing my subtext. Now I'm seeing my minor characters. And let's look at the remaining features in the menu. First of all, you can show gaps as something else than pages. Right now we're showing it as 6.5 pages, and that's the default setting. But we can switch it to, for example, time. Now, since a page is a minute, it's going to show 6.5 minutes later, or you can switch it to events. Usually time or pages makes the most sense. Further down, we have some always-on filters, which are always on regardless of whether the main filter is enabled. And the first is to hide disabled snippets. So let's reset the filter again, and let's disable some snippets here. So I'm going to select this one, and then I'm going to do Control D a couple of times to turn them off. So you do this when you take little pieces of plot out of the script. So these won't appear in the printout, but they're still going to appear on your screen, and that gets annoying when you have a lot of them. So now you can select Filter and then hide disabled snippets, and then they just disappear. And that allows you to keep them in the plot or keep them as possibilities you might want to bring back without actually having to read around them. And the same thing goes for empty snippets. When you create new plot, so for example, I'm standing here and then I'm pressing Enter to create a new empty snippet here. When you create a bunch of new plots, you're going to have a lot of these empty snippets here, and you might not actually be ready to commit to there being something in the script there yet. Maybe it's just an idea. So now you can select Hide Empty Snippets, and then those also go away. And finally is the episode filter, which is more for a future of massive collaboration where you have like 30 writers in a TV season of 15 episodes. And then you want to limit your view to just the episodes that you're working on. So let's drop in some episode markers here. I'm going to create one, right-click here. And then we're going to insert break and episode break, and we'll call it episode 1. Let's put in some more episode breaks. These are really short. Episode 2. And let's call this one episode 3. So now I have 3 episodes, and if I only want to work on my episode, which is episode 2, then I just click this. And then I'm only working on my part of the much larger story.